Okay, so here's the thing. We had some technical difficulties this morning, so I took the video, I tried to save some of the audio, it didn't work all that well. So I took the video, I chopped up what I could salvage, and here's Morning Announcements. Really, it's just Prize Pond that you're missing because my audio just really took a dump during the Prize Pond. I don't know what happened. But pretty much everything else is there. And I have also blurred out the name of the girl that I told I would keep anonymous. God, I'm stupid. What is wrong with me? You'd think it was Monday. So here's the video. Enjoy. Good morning. Let's do it. It's time for the Morning Announcements on the Nightcap with Nightcat YouTube channel. This is the kitsch-minded morning show where we get you ready for the day. I am your host, Nightcat. Thank you so much for being here. We've got such a fantastic show coming up. First of all, there has been a string of break-ins in celebrity homes. We got to talk about that in the Morning Mews. And then we're going to get into the Prize Pond. If you'd like to play Prize Pond for a prize later, text your first name to 601-557-CAT1. I might be calling you later to win a fabulous prize in the Prize Pond. But before we get into any of that, I had the best text message come in to that text line, 601-557-CAT1. Because I ask all the time, if you have a confession, if you need advice, anything like that, just text me. We'll see what we can do. Well, a Nightkitten, who wishes to remain anonymous, fair enough, had to confess something to me. This person reached out to me and said, hey, so I have a confession to make. I didn't get a lot of my work from home stuff done. And my boss was like, so what's the deal with that? Where's your stuff? So I just quickly was like, my power went out. Good lie. Hard to trace down, right? Good lie. Well, the boss was like, oh, if that's true, then I'm going to need you to get in contact with the power company and get a letter from them stating that your power was out. So she's like, all right, well, I guess we'll try this. And she gets in, she calls Rocky Mountain Power and was like, can I get a letter that says my power was out on this day? And they were like, no, we don't do anything like that. So instead of just going back to her boss and saying, hey, yeah, they don't do anything like that, here's what happened. She counterfeited a letter with the Rocky Mountain Power logo on it, to whom it may concern, in response to blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize her name was in that. Whoops. Oh my gosh, Jackson. I thought I blocked everything out. My bad. I will make sure to figure out how to do some quick editing on that later. But anyway, she counterfeited a letter from Rocky Mountain Power to her boss, which I loved. I really loved that so much. So I asked you last night on Instagram to tell me what are some of the biggest lies you ever told your bosses. And there were some really exceptional responses. So obviously there was variations of, I told them that I was sick so I could go on vacation. One Nightkitten said that they told their boss they were sick so that they could go to Disneyland, which I think is an exceptional thing to pretend to be sick for. If you have the chance to go to Disneyland instead of work, yeah, you should be sick. This one though, this is a bad one. I told them that my son was in the hospital with a high fever. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like it's one thing to lie about your own health, but when you start lying about other people's health, ooh, you're playing with fire. You're asking for karma. This one says, I'm almost there. This is from Brandon Russell Brand24 on Instagram. I'm almost there, but I was still an hour away. Haven't we all said that lie before? Oh yeah, I'm almost there. I'm not. I haven't even gotten dressed yet. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. I'm not ready for anything. This one says, I was sick, but actually I was on vacation. That was a common one. This is one of my favorite ones so far. That there was a delivery that came damaged, except it didn't come damaged. I accidentally hit it with the golf cart. Yeah, I don't know. It must have gotten damaged in shipping. Whoops-a-daisy. So they accidentally smash some stuff up with a golf cart at their job. I love it. Also, an exceptional reason to lie to your boss. If you broke something, just be like, oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, you know how the shippers are. You know how the mail works. They break everything. Always blame the post office. Everyone hates the post office. They'll believe you if you say it's the post office's fault. And then this one says, I locked my keys in the trunk. So she's like, I lied. I told them that I locked my keys in the trunk. This is Erin Sasongi, by the way. She says, then it actually happened. So she lied about locking her keys in her trunk, and then she actually did do it because, you know, that's karma. And then I just got a ton of variations of, I love my job. I told him that I love my job. This one says, my favorite one, I think, out of all of them was, I'm happy to be here. That was from Alex. Alex just says, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I love when you get onto Instagram and play along and answer to the topics. If you have more lies for your boss that you'd like to tell, put them over in the YouTube live chat. We are live chatting right now over on the YouTube. I see everyone's checking in. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, or text your big boss lies to 601-557-CAT1. I always love hearing them. All right, now that that's out of the way, I think it's time for the Morning Mews. The Morning Mews is the part of the show where we go through the top pop culture headlines so that you don't feel left behind at work. And we're going to get started here with Kendall Jenner. Now, Kendall Jenner, she's had stalkers before. Bad ones. Scary, scary stalkers that show up to her house and stuff. Well, TMZ is saying that a 27-year-old man broke into her property at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So, dead of night, he's coming in. He starts pounding on windows and yelling, Kendall, Kendall! Trying to get her attention. No, thank you. So she, at this point, is in a secure part of her home. Security's tracking his movements, but they didn't act on anything. They were waiting for the police to get here. Obviously, if you can avoid a interaction, it's probably for the best. But they were waiting for cops to get there. The cops finally, the cops were taking so long that this guy, the 27-year-old, gets completely naked and tries to get into Kendall Jenner's pool, and that's when security's like, all right, enough. So they grab him and detained him until the police were able to arrive and take him to jail. Now, the thing is, there are COVID restrictions in the jail right now, so he was only in jail for 6 hours before he was released, so he could show right back up. They filed, obviously, for a restraining order, and Kendall Jenner has beefed up her security, which, by the way, was already beefed up because a couple of weeks ago, a psychiatric patient who is being held on a psych hold in California told his doctors that he was planning on tracking her down, killing her, and then killing himself. So things are not going so hot for Kendall Jenner right now. She is considering moving away from LA just because, you know, this keeps happening. And that's probably good because there have been a string of other Southern California burglaries of celebrity, stuff. Yesterday we talked about how the Storage Wars people had their thrift store broken into, made off with like $8,000 worth of stuff. Well, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello over the weekend also had their house broken into. So they were actually home, and a group of burglars got into the house, realized that they were there, and made off pretty quickly. So I guess they get in there, they're like, oh, that's Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello eating, popcorn and watching love stories. I assume that's what they do. I assume they eat popcorn, drink red wine, and cry together. That's the aura their relationship gives me, and I love it. I'm here for it. That's beautiful. But they see those two, and they're like, oh, mad dash. So they book it out of the house, but not before they grab the keys to Shawn's G-Wagon. So they grabbed his G-Wagon, took off, peeled out of the parking lot in it. LAPD, as far as I'm aware, is still looking for the burglars as well as the G-Wagon. They haven't been able to track any of that down. But yeah, that could have gone very badly because I think it sounds like Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello came face to face with the burglars like immediately. So scary. And then on top of that, over the weekend, this actually isn't over the weekend, this is earlier this month, but LAPD just came out with it over the weekend. 3 of Beyonce's storage units were hit by burglars who made off with $1 million worth of memorabilia. Now, I guess this has happened twice. Her 3 storage units were hit twice by thieves, and Miley Cyrus had a storage unit nearby in the same park. That one also got hit by thieves. So on top of all that, plus the storage wars, plus we talk, I mean, anytime I see a celebrity stalker type situation, I always like to bring it up. So we talk about this a fair amount, but I feel like it's really getting out of control over there. So I hope everyone is being safe. And just remember, celebrities may seem approachable because you see them in all your favorite movies and they look like wonderful people. They're still just people. And they still get really scared of strangers breaking into their house or strangers approaching them. So be nice. Treat them with the same respect that you would treat like a zoo tiger. Just like very appreciate it from afar. Stay behind the glass. Don't go pounding on it. Don't yell at them. And definitely don't break into their area because you're not going to like the consequences. And that is the Morning Mews. Before we continue, I would like to plug our Patreon. Patreon.com/NightCatShow. Patreon, if you don't know, is an awesome service where you can help support your favorite artists. You can keep your favorite shows independent. So I'm not doing this with the backing of any sort of company. Down the road, I would love some sponsors. If you own a business and you'd like to sponsor Nightcap with Nightcat, I'd be more than happy to work something out with you. But in the meantime, it's just me running the whole show, running the whole thing. And it is a big, labor-intensive, time-intensive, money-intensive project running this YouTube channel, plus the podcast, the upcoming true crime tours, all of it. It takes a lot of money and time, and it's kind of my full-time job right now. And part of the reason I'm able to do that is because of our patrons. It's a monthly subscription. You can pledge either $3 or $5 a month, and that money just goes right into me. I reinvest it into the show to make sure we can keep it bigger, better, stronger than ever before. I love this show. I really wish that we could get to a place where I could just do this full-time independently. I wouldn't have to worry about looking for jobs and stuff because this has just been like the best adventure. So much fun. And I know that people love it. I know you're out there watching and you wake up every morning anticipating it. If you want to keep that on, donate to the Patreon if you can. Patreon.com/NightCatShow. Make a pledge. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. I think it's time for us to get into the Book of Unusual Knowledge. This is a bathroom reader book that I found at a thrift store. Just contains a bunch of fun facts. And I thought this was disgusting, so I thought we should bring it up. Mummy medicine. In medieval times, Egyptians began toting mummies for their secret medicinal qualities. European doctors began importing mummies, boiling off their oils. I hate the way that they say that. They just boil them into a tea and get the oil out of them. And then they would prescribe mummy oil to patients as treatment for sore throats, cough, epilepsy, and skin disorder. Middle Ages medicine. Dark Ages medicine sounds so horrifying. Oh, does your throat hurt? You probably have a demon in there. We better chase it away with a mummy. What? So contemporary apothecaries, so it wasn't just like, witch doctors or whatever they had at the time. It was also straight up like the pharmacist. Apothecaries also got into the act, marketing pulverized mummies to noblemen as a cure for nausea. Hey, eat this really old dead body. That will make your stomach not sick anymore. Crazy talk. However, the medical community wasn't completely sold on the benefits of mummy medicine. Several doctors voiced their objections against the practice. It ought to be rejected as loathsome and offensive. Well, I'm glad there was at least one person out there who was like, whoa, maybe don't eat mummies. Now, the only reason this stopped is because apparently a cholera epidemic broke out in Europe and was blamed on mummy bandages. So they're like, yeah, we're all dying. It must be because we're eating mummies. So they were like, yeah, them mummy bandages, they got cholera all up in them. You're not going to want to do that. Those cholera mummy bandages, they might be delicious. Cholera might be the best tasting, the best flavor of mummy bandages. But you shouldn't be eating them anymore. And that is the Book of Unusual Knowledge.